Hi guys, I know that this is kind of a crappy video angle and I'm in my pajamas because it's early in the morning. It's not early at all, actually, it's kind of late. But and the lighting is weird because I just moved this lamp, but I wanted to get on here and talk to you guys. This is a very messy hair don't care day. I might even just be in my pajamas all day long because I'm hurting really bad. It's okay. I feel okay right this second, so I don't know. So I did my pregnancy update and I uploaded that. What did I do? I uploaded that yesterday, I believe. But then that was from a few days ago, and then yesterday I went to the doctor. So yesterday I went to the doctor for my 37-week appointment. And this hair is driving me nuts because it's like the one thing that's sticking out and it's getting on my ever-living nerve to see it. So I went to my 37-week appointment and I really wasn't expecting it to be like any different news than I have been getting, which is why I went ahead and did a pregnancy update for you guys, because I didn't do one on my 36th week when I got the ultrasound. The ultrasound's like super disappointing because he was like covering his face like this, and every time he would start to move and she would go over to him and he'd be like this again, and he was just putting his little fist in his face, which was freaking adorable, but it didn't let us see like his profile or his face or anything, because he just kept moving his hands in his face, and she was like, get your hands out of your face, because she wanted to make sure his eye sockets were developed and all of that, and he just wouldn't let her see. So anyway, so I went to my 37-week appointment yesterday. I usually go on Fridays, which this time they want to see me sooner. They want to see me on Wednesday, so, and we'll get to why. But I went to my appointment. I've been hurting a lot. So a lot of pelvic pressure, a lot of pelvic pain, a lot of back pain, just over and over again, and a lot of like menstrual cramping. So I have like these Braxton Hicks contractions, but they're not true Braxton Hicks. They are actual, painful contractions. And I have been having them quite often. The problem is they're not consistent. So I went to the doctor. Well, I'll go back to that in a minute. So I went to the doctor, and when I went to the doctor, he checked my cervix, and I went from being like a 1.5, like a little over a 1.5, to 3 centimeters dilated and 50% thinned. So I went from 0% thin to 50% thinned in a week. So I did 1.5 centimeters, a little over 1.5 centimeters dilation and 50% thinning out in 1 week. So he was like, wow, that's really progressing. Like, good job, mama. And I'm like, no, that's not good, because if I ever reach that threshold and go over it, then Alaric might be saying hello in the car. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, when you guys hear me say that, like, it's just because I have my babies like really fast. When they decide to come, they come. And I know that a lot of you have been talking to me like, yeah, because you're this pregnant, like, it's okay to be dilated, don't worry. And I know that, like, some women go, you know, weeks and weeks and weeks, like at 3 centimeters or 4 centimeters even, and they're dilated and it's really uncomfortable, but they walk around that way, and it's not a sign of labor. Like, it's not necessarily telling you, holy crap, girl, you about to have this baby. Like, that's not necessarily true. Everybody is different. Every body is different. Every baby is different. So every pregnancy is different. So really what the doctors tell you is not a cut and dry generalization. Like, there are no generalizations for pregnancy. It just depends on your body. It depends on the situation. And there's really nothing they can tell you that's cut and dry. And that's just the way it is with pregnancy, period, from beginning to end. But with that being said, the reason why I'm making a big deal out of it is because I have never been not even 1 centimeter dilated before I go to give birth. And it still happens so very quickly that it makes me really nervous to be 3 centimeters dilated walking around and having these painful contractions, because they are extremely painful. Shh. So, uh-oh, we have a problem. All right, so the reason I'm making such a big deal about it is because I've never been not even 1 centimeter dilated, and I still go that fast. So with that being said, I just, and this is the way I understand it. So when you are dilated, it doesn't necessarily mean anything. You could still hold that dilation for a really long time. When you are thinned, it doesn't necessarily mean anything either, because you could still just hold that for a while, okay? If you get above 50% effaced, which is your cervix thinning, that's how close your cervix is coming, because it's thinning out. So it's getting closer and closer to the outside world to let that baby out, okay? If you are above 50% effaced, that's when you can really start progressing. So that's when it's giving your body the time and the momentum to really get it going, okay? So you're probably not going to get above like 5 centimeters if you're 50%. If you go above 50%, you can go over that 5 centimeter threshold and really get going. You see what I mean? So I'm already at 50% effaced, which if I go above that threshold in these contractions, because I've been having more and more and more of them. Yesterday, I was sure that we were going to the hospital. Like, I really felt like, okay, we're about to go. Like, I started packing our bags and everything like that, like trying to get prepared, because I really thought that yesterday... I'm not sure where Raphael is. I think you took him into your room, baby. You took him to your room.
Can you find him?
No, I'm not going to find him right now. Go look in your room where you took your other toys, and you'll probably find him. Go look.
I can't.
Okay, we keep having dilemmas, okay? He's supposed to be eating his breakfast, and do you think he's eating it? No, he's definitely not. Anyway, so I want to go ahead and either do this thing or wait. I'm tired of this in between. I'm tired of all the pain. Like, I can't lie down or sit up or move around. It's just really painful, and I'm just nervous because if I go over that threshold and start dilating, if I ever really start, then it's not going to be that long, and being 30 minutes away from the hospital is a little bit far for comfort. So it kind of just makes me a little bit nervous. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm in a pretty good amount of discomfort, but the contractions are not consistent. So I might have a really strong one at 12 minutes apart from each other, and I'm like, holy crap, this is like getting stronger, this is terrible, I need to go to the hospital. And then I'll have another one at 10 minutes, and I'm like, holy crap, it's getting worse. And then I might have one in 4 minutes, and then I might have one in 30 minutes, and then I might have one in 10, and then I might have one in 20. Like, they're just not consistent, so those are not true labor contractions. And the pain is not progressing to get worse and worse until you feel like death. No, it's just the same amount of pain. It is pain. It's not a Braxton Hicks. It's not just my uterus tightening and then letting go, and it's okay. It's uncomfortable. You can't breathe. You feel like, oh, like you can't breathe, but other than that, it's okay. No, it's not those. It is painful, vaginal cramping, back cramping, leg cramping, stomach cramping contractions that start at the top and work all the way around. and the pain licks you like a slobbery dog and you want to crawl in a hole because it starts to hurt really bad. It's those, but the pain doesn't get progressively worse. They don't get closer together consistently. They kind of jump all over the place, and then eventually they subside and they'll come back in a few hours. So I'm like, holy cow, are you kidding me right now? Like, no, I do not want to live 2 weeks like this. You know what I mean? But in all reality, if I do not thin out and they do not progress and they're not consistent and they keep going the way they are, I will live with this for 2 weeks because they won't induce until 39 weeks and I wouldn't want them to. And he's just going to come when he comes. So this is different for me. I've never had this experience before. I have had really heavy Braxton Hicks contractions, even a little bit uncomfortable contractions where I thought, oh, could this be it? This might be it. But never like this. Never this painful, never this often, never this like, holy cow, this hurts and it's really uncomfortable and painful. I've never had that before. I've never had like the scare of, you know, this is gonna be it. He could come at any time. And that's what the doctor's telling me. Like, he could seriously come at any time. And because of your, you know, past experiences, he really could come at any time. So just be ready. He was like, my advice to you is if you start heavily cramping, you need to come to the hospital because you're probably going to have a baby. But I've been doing that this whole time and it's just slowly progressing and la-di-da. So they want to see me on Wednesday instead of Friday. So it won't even be a full week. It'll be 5 days since my last appointment. They want to see me on Wednesday so they can check me again and see, you know, is this progressing? Do we need to keep you and have this baby, or are we going to send you home, or blah, blah, blah. What is it? What is it? What is it? So we'll just see. I'm still having Braxton Hicks as well thrown into the mix. So anytime I like walk, whether it's the grocery store or whether it's, you know, back and forth in my house cleaning, or whether it's bending down, any kind of movement where I'm really moving, Braxton Hicks right away. I'm getting Braxton Hicks, Braxton Hicks, Braxton Hicks. My stomach feels like a rock and my uterus is super tight and he is super aggravated because it's getting on his nerves. And then when it's over, he is kicking me like crazy because he is like, holy cow, Mom, what is your body doing? This is not a good home for me. I don't have any room. But then afterwards, in a little while, here come those stubborn contractions again, and they are happening for sure, but they are not consistent and not getting spaced out correctly enough for it to be considered true labor. So they're called false labor contractions, which in all reality, it's really kind of, there's really not a name for those that well, as far as I know. Maybe I'm ignorant, so you guys can enlighten me if you know better than me. But Braxton Hicks contractions are the tightening of the uterus. It does not dilate you. It does not thin you out. It shows no progression. It is basically your body practicing for labor. False labor contractions are contractions that hurt, but they do not progress you. And I've been progressing, so, but it's not true labor. So there's kind of like that in between where false labor contractions are painful, but they don't progress you. Yet I have been progressing with them, but it's not true labor because they are not consistent and my body's not saying, girl, you need to get to the hospital. It's not like that. It's just a slow, annoying progression that is very hard to predict. And so that's where I'm at. Of course, I would be that person. So that's where I'm at right now. I just wanted to give you guys an update because I don't want to like, holy crap, I go into labor and then you guys are like, wait a minute, she just said that, you know, the last update we got, it was totally fine. And then here's the baby, like where's in the in-between? So I know that on channels that I follow, I like to know what's going on. So I'm probably going to update you guys more often. You're probably going to get like daily updates instead of weekly updates, depending on how this is going. Okay. So I'm going to update you more often. That way, when we're on the way to the hospital, And maybe I can talk Joshua into having him, if he has his wits about him and he's not trying to race us to the hospital, he might be able to vlog for me a little bit, or at least hold the camera. But girl, if I'm having contractions and that much pain, you ain't getting an update yet until I get that epidural. I'm sorry. But I am going to try to vlog in the hospital. I know a couple of you asked me that. I am going to try to do that. It just really depends on how this goes. How rushed it is, how fast it goes, how scary it is, how holy crap I am dying it is. It just depends. It depends. If I'm waiting and chilling out with my epidural, waiting for the doctor and waiting for things to progress, of course I want to include you guys. And I do want to do a birth vlog. I've never done one before. I did not do one with either of the two. And I think that it would be super fun to do that. I don't even have a picture of the very first time I held Killian. I have one of Tristan, but I don't have one of Killian, and it's really sad. I held him first thing. So with Tristan, they took him away because he wasn't crying enough. They were clearing out his throat and his lungs. So they didn't give him to me like first thing. They cleaned him up a little bit and then handed him to me. But with Killian, he took him out and put him on top of me. And so I really wish I would have gotten a picture of that experience, because it was just a whole different thing. Like, it was like instant bonding, whereas with Tristan, they took him away and then gave him to me. But with Killian, it was just like, he's out of you, he's on you. Like, here he is, mama. And he was just disgusting and gross, and I was just loving all over him, like, oh my God, the miracle of life, like, you know. And so maybe that'll be how this one is, and I can finally get that picture. But I wish I would have gotten more pictures of Killian. Joshua was just so in awe, and like, you know, my mom was the one who took the picture of the first one, and she wasn't in there for the second time, and so he just didn't take a picture. But anyway, so that is what is going on. It is not fun, guys. It is rough times, and if you have a pregnancy like this, do not worry, my love. It will be over eventually. Whether you're over with is a couple of months or a couple of weeks, it will pass. It will be okay. You will see your baby. It's just we got to struggle a little bit to get there, and they are worth it, so it is okay. But that is what's been going on. It's tough times, but it's okay. We'll get there. At the very most, I have to wait 2 weeks, so that's okay. I can deal with that. If I have to deal with this for 2 weeks, small price to pay, right? But I'd really rather not. So I'm hoping that either the contractions calm down or we have a baby soon. So that's it. I just wanted to update you guys. I keep saying that's it and then keep babbling on, but I will update you soon with new news or the same news. And either way, we'll see a baby soon. So thank you guys so much for watching and following me on this journey. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.